Blog Talk Radio.
It's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Time to get real. Welcome, reality. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. It's Football Sunday. Woohoo! I'm going to spend this today watching football. I spent yesterday watching football. I am a huge football fan. I'm really excited about that. But let me just got my left hand up here. I have some confessions to make to all of my listeners, to my audience, to everybody that's going to be listening to the show. And this is really, how do I say this? Well, listen, if you've listened to the show, you know that I'm an open book. But what I'm going to share today is how specifically I work through being in the middle of the storm. And I mean in the middle of the storm. We all know what that feels like, that feeling of either worry, that feeling of unbalanced, I don't worry, but the feeling of being unbalanced, like it's a disaster. This is a huge problem, that kind of feeling. So I'm going to share with you this last week what I've been going through and what has happened and how I responded each time. One of the things that I talk about, well, let me just back up a little bit. For my new listeners, this show, Reality Spirituality, it is about how to experience more happiness, more peace, and more happiness in your life. How to experience more. How to have more moments of balance. How to have more moments of peace. How to have more moments of feeling connected, feeling that everything is okay and that everything is in order. One of the things that I've been screaming, saying for years is to practice. And let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to when you, my dear audience, let's go back to when you were before you were born. Let's go back to 6 months, year-old, year and a half, 2 years old, 2.5 years old, 3 years old. That particular time. When you were 2, when you were 1, when you were 3, the world had problems. I'm just speaking. Just like it has, quote, problems now. I'm going to label things. I'm going to make statements. I don't know why I'm stuttering today, but you know what? I'm excited. Let me just take a couple of deep breaths and calm my energy down just a little bit because I'm really excited to share. Let's go back to anywhere 3 years old or younger. Say you're 3 years old right now, and all of the things that are going on in the world, from elections to terrorists to economy to drought to animal rights, all of it. At 3, at 2, definitely at 1. None of that. If I talk to you about all of the issues that grown-ups talk about, that are talking about now, you would look at me like I'm talking about a 3-year-old. And see, this learning that I need to worry. learning that I need to compare myself with others, learning that something happens and now I have to react to it. What I really want to say is life is really about your reaction to it, how you perceive it, and how you respond. All of the responses, all of your reactions have been taught. You were taught that if somebody dies, now you're going to react a certain way. You were taught that if you get some news about your health or some challenging news, you're going to react in a certain way. What I really want to get across is that all of your reactions, all of your behaviors, all of your responses are actually learned. I say actually a lot, are learned. And so what you learn, you can unlearn. I've been yelling, preaching from the time to the beginning to the end about expectations and having expectations and how all expectations will subtract from your happiness. All expectations will subtract from your peace. Now, yours truly was hit, was caught up, was blindsided by, I didn't even realize I had an expectation, but I'll tell you what happened. My son lives in New York, and I have one son, and he's in New York, and I'm in California. I see Nathan probably 2 to 3 times a year. And when I say that out loud, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's really, our relationship is solid. It's, when I say solid, I mean we talk a lot about this kind of stuff, the same kind of stuff we talk about on the radio. That's what I talk to my son about, conscious stuff. And so he's coming to visit on Tuesday. Usually he lets me know if he wants me to pick him up. Like sometimes he lets his dad pick him up. Sometimes he has friends pick him up. And sometimes I pick him up. And the last couple of times I don't think I picked him up. But this particular time, maybe about 3 weeks ago, he asked me, he says, Mom, would you like to pick me up or can you pick me up? And I said, yes. I love picking my son up from the airport, especially if I haven't seen him since March. It's January 2017. I haven't seen him since March of 2016. I don't think he came here during the summer. I don't even remember. But anyway, it's been a few months. So, of course, I'm looking forward to picking my son up, my number one, my favorite boy. And we do this whole reunion. I see him, he sees me, our eyes get big. Like in the movies, you run toward each other and you run like it's slow motion. Yeah, it's all of that. It's a whole scene, man. And I look forward to that. And I was looking forward to picking up my son on Tuesday. And yesterday he called and he said to me, Mom, what he said was, I haven't really decided. It's between you I mean, I was already, listen, I wasn't penciled in. I was already in. I'm the one that is going to be picking him up. And so yesterday he tells me, Mom, it's between you and one of his friends. And audience, I have to say that I instantly went into major disappointment mode. But my disappointment was because I had the expectations. Now, I didn't figure it out right away, but I could feel that I was disappointed, and I shifted my energy, and I said, well, this is what I did. I said, well, because as soon as he said it's going to be between me and someone else, I'm already put off. See, my automatic, now here we go, automatic reaction, my automatic response was, huh? You said you were going to ask me. I already said I was going to go, and I already made plans to pick you up, and all of the stuff that goes in the head of all of the thoughts. I'm your mother, you know, I should be ranked higher, all of those thoughts. As soon as I felt myself getting bothered, irritated, annoyed, that there's a possibility that I don't get to pick my son up from the airport. Now, I can point my finger at him changing his mind or him saying that I was going to do it and now he changed his mind. I could point my finger at all of that. But the truth is, the reason why I was irritated, upset, or annoyed, or bothered, or hurt feelings, all of that, the reason why was because I had the expectation, and not only did I have that expectation of picking him up, I was definitely attached to having that expectation of picking him up. You can understand it. You haven't seen my son since March 2016 yet? Yeah, I'm excited. The expectation was still there. On the phone instantly, I felt myself, what do you mean somebody else is picking you up? What do you mean he changed? I'm saying this to myself. What do you mean he changed his mind? And you know what, audience? I had to cop to it right away. In a matter of minutes, probably 1 minute, 2 minutes, I could feel how bothered I was by this new shift of plans. And I just fessed up. I just said, Nathan, you know what? It's not, you can pick whoever you want to pick you up. And you can ask me that same day to pick you up. And you could ask me the day before. If I can, I will. If I can't, I won't. But this thing about me getting upset or getting mad or shifting my energy because now you changed your mind, it's not on him. It's on me and my expectations. Yes, I had expectations, but realizing it, and who knew, I thought I mastered expectations, and who knew that all expectations, no matter what happens, no matter what it is, you will always get to a point, even if you get your expectations met, say you expected it and they still get met, then what happens when they don't? So this expectations being met is, quite frankly, is just a coincidence, in my opinion. Now let's go back to another confession. This week has been a week of a lot of paths, a lot of ups, downs, around the corners, a lot of it. So that I confess to the expectation. I had expectations. And let me confess to something else. 2 weeks ago, I actually have a standing acupuncture appointment every week, because if you listen to the show, you know that hit by a car, working out the kinks, getting treatment for all of that stuff. So I have a standing appointment. And for some reason, and I think it's the full moon, that for some reason I was just feeling a little, just a little off. Maybe it's just a little unbalanced, the full moon, all of it, just a little unbalanced. And on the day that I was going to have my acupuncture treatment, I received a text can I reschedule? Now I'm already feeling a little tight, a little tweak in the, here, this area, that area. I really need my treatment. Nah, that kind of attitude, that kind of feeling. And so when I got the text, I was, another expectation, expecting to have an appointment, expecting to have a little bit of relief of the, the tension, a little bit of the body. I'm talking about body, a little bit of the physical relief, a little relief. No. So now I get a little bothered by that. And what I did was reschedule for the next day, but reschedule for a late time in the day, 8 o'clock at night. Now, on certain days, I teach all day, and that particular day I was teaching all day, and then to make another appointment at the end of that day, teaching all day at 8 o'clock at night, I already could tell and could feel that I was going to be, it's too much. It was too long of a day. So on that one day, I canceled, and now my lips are poked out because I didn't get my acupuncture treatment, and I didn't, and it was canceled, and I really need it, and all of this stuff in my head, all the thoughts that make me suffer, all the thoughts that make us suffer. Finally, let me just back up a little bit. What happens with me is I get to a point where all of it builds, and meaning like say you're a sports car or a race car. The maintenance on the car even is the same as with us. Maintenance. What am I trying to say? I'm saying our own personal maintenance. And so for me, I get filled up with gas, and I'm able to go out into the world, and I'm able to have this energy, and I'm able to do all of it. But there comes a time where even I get low on energy. I say even I, meaning that I usually have a lot of energy, but I get low on energy, and I can tell when I'm low on energy, and I can tell when I'm low because all of a sudden something that happens that's just a normal thing, like getting an acupuncture appointment canceled. It's no big deal. But I can tell when my energy is low when something like happens and my acupuncture appointment is canceled, and, it's a big deal now. So when I start feeling that, I'm not just able to brush things off and let things go, and I'm not really able to accept it all, and there's certain things I'm picking and choosing, well, I'll accept this, but I won't accept that. When I get to that state, because I'm really very self-aware, that's 2 words, self-aware. So when I get to that, I know that it's time for me to, stop talking, let's hibernate, let's get some downtime and fill up. So it was at that time where I was low. Trust me, I was low on gas, I was low on fuel, I was low on oil, I was low on everything. So on that day that I found out that my acupuncture appointment was canceled, and then I had to teach all day on this certain day, audience, I just broke down and started crying. And I've never done this before, but I videotaped myself crying. And and crying, and I was sitting in the car, I was crying, I was saying, universe, why? I just want, all of this allowing and surrendering and letting the universe drive. And I just want things to happen the way, I just want things to happen the way I want it to happen. And I wasn't really nice with my demand. I was like, universe, why can't I get everything I want? Why? Why is it that, it's your will and not mine? I mean, all of it. Trust me, people, I was, with the passion that you hear me talking about being at peace, I was with that same kind of passion. Well, it was either frustration and cursing out the universe. Why? And I got my answer right in the middle. And the universe said to me, and let me just say this, you all can hear that voice, the universal voice, you all have it. You all can hear it. It's just a matter of listening. It's just, do you practice listening? Because we all have it. So the voice, the universe says to me, hold on a second, I have to do my pouting. Why? Why can't I have it my way? Why is it not my way? I know what's going to make me happy. I know what I want. I know what I need. I know what I want. I know what I'm going to, my contribution, how am I going to contribute to the world. I know how I'm going to do that. I know what's the best way to do that. And the universe hit me with, you want everything your way? Yes. We can make that happen. Well, okay, but you're going to have to give something up. You're going to have to give something up. Well, they didn't say it like that, but I'm actually adding to the drama. You're going to have to give something up. And I said, what? I said, if you want everything, you think that you know, hey, terrestrial radio, New York Times bestseller, television, travel all over the world, teaching your little happiness classes. That's what you want, right? Yes, that's what I want. And I want it right now. Well, you can do that, but you won't grow anymore. Huh? You won't grow anymore. If you have everything, you know, all of your relationships are going to be set up exactly the way you want. Everything that you want is just going to happen to you exactly the way you want it to happen. Everything's just going to fall right into your lap. Bip, 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 everything. It sounds like heaven to me. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. But you're not going to grow anymore. I know, for me, I grow because of my experiences. I grow because of my challenges. I grow because I want to grow. I want to be more conscious. I want it. And the only reason why I want it is because I think that more consciousness is going to bring me more balance. More balance means more peace. More peace means more happiness. And so when the universe hit me with, you're not going to grow anymore, I mean, we'll give it to you, but you're not going to grow. I said, okay, never mind. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep giving me all of the things that you think that I need to grow, or actually all the things that they're giving me. Everything in my life that I that I would not have signed up for in my conscious state. Everything. From the death to the health to the money to the relationships, all of it. I'm not going to grow anymore. I said, okay, keep giving me what you're giving me. Just keep giving it. Just keep giving it to me. It's not my plan. It's your plan. Okay, just keep it. Okay, whatever. Just keep giving it. And then, this was the next day because I'm still on it. I'm not just going to just give up because I keep questioning. And then the universe said, you know what? All of those things, all of that stuff that you say that you want, all of this, you know, the world uses abundance, that thing, all of this stuff, you already have it all right now. Don't you realize that? You have it. Well, I've heard that before. You have it all right. Don't you feel your power? Don't you feel powerful enough? Don't you feel yourself? And when I say feel powerful, I mean who I am, who we are consciousness. That's power. I'm telling you, consciousness, just being conscious is power. And there are a lot of people that aren't conscious, aren't making decisions consciously. They're making decisions, making choices based based on reacting to an election, reacting to a loved one saying something, reacting to what the numbers are in your bank account. It's a reaction. And so the universe told me that your eyes, and they're speaking to me, your eyes are deceiving you. You think that because you don't have or you don't see or you're not live, you don't have a television show or a terrestrial radio show, you're looking with your eyes, your human eyes are deceiving you. Don't count on your eyes for confirmation of your abundance. Don't depend on your eyes to tell you the truth about this life and about where you are and about who you are. Don't depend on your eyes to be satisfied or not, to look in the mirror and, I don't know if I've even shared this, but I was really cute when I was younger, teaching exercise for 37 years, but you know what? When I was in my teens, when I was in my 20s, when I was in my 30s, when I was in my 40s, I didn't look in the mirror and see perfection. I always saw flaws. Flaws in my the way I look, flaws with my body, flaws. I could say that I could ride a spinning bike for an hour straight standing up, and do you know that I still wasn't satisfied with that? I mean, I was a boot camp instructor for 25 years. I'm still teaching, but not boot camp. 25 years and still not satisfied because my eyes deceive me. And not only that, the thoughts that I identified with, that my thoughts are, I'm not strong enough, or I'm not, don't look a certain way, whatever it is. Thoughts and eyes. First of all, your thoughts aren't even yours. Don't identify it because they're not your identity. And then looking with my eyes. I mean, when I go to the bank, I can see numbers. And those numbers, I'm laughing because you all know what I'm saying. I'm here to say that my eyes right now, thank you, I appreciate them, but I am not using my eyes anymore to determine whether or not I'm abundant. I have all of this abundance. I could feel it. And let me share another quick story. I've been teaching at the senior center, and one of my students, I just met him in October of last year, 2016. And the class is chair aerobics. And let me tell you something. That chair aerobics is really tough. I'm bouncing up and down on that chair, and I sweat. But this particular gentleman, when he first came into class, and he was using one of those rolly walkers, with the wheels on it, and you just roll it. It's one of those rolling walkers. So he had that, and his daughter was with him. And so he was in my class every week since October, and his name was Donald. And this particular man, this 91-year-old man on this rolling walker, always had a smile on his face. Now, he was being fed with a feeding tube. He was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and it was just months. You could feel it. You could see it was months. It was just months. But his spirit was one of the strongest spirits I have ever felt, and he reminded me of my father, Ralph Norrington. well, let's say this. When he was out in public, people loved him. He loved him, his smile, his warmth. He had a personality. And this man, Donald, in my class in October 2016, reminded me of my father. And I fell in love with him first sight. I just fell in love with him. I would teach the class, and I'd say, Donald, and he was frail. And I said, Donald, lift up your arms. You have to keep exercising. Keep your arms up. Keep exercising. And then he would shoot back with, I'm exercising my eyes. Or, you're exercising enough for me. Or it was just always some kind of fun, light comeback. Yesterday, I went to his service, and I have to say that this man was connected to my father in ways I had no idea. You know, when you go to a service and you're reading about the people that have died, and Donald had 8 children and 24 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. He died a day after his 92nd birthday. So he died on December the 18th. His birthday was December the 19th. And they just buried him yesterday. But there was some kind of connection with this man. And I have pictures. I took pictures with him too prior to me not seeing him anymore. The last time I saw him was in December. But what I wanted to say was I was at the service, and I didn't even know his last name. His last name was Norton. My last name is Norrington. His father's name was Ralph. My father's name was Ralph. Donald, the man that died at service yesterday, his favorite game was golf. That's all my father did was golf. Donald was in the Navy. My father served in the Navy. Donald could fix anything. My father could fix anything. What I'm saying is, I felt this connection with this man prior to me even going to the service and knowing more about him. Life is about moments, and whether the moments feel, it's like riding a wave, whether the moments feel great or the moments feel challenging, or the moments feel light, or the moments feel heavy, or the moments, whatever the moment feels like, you know what I'm talking about, whatever it feels like. It's just a moment. And to realize that the connection, that we are all connected in some way, all of us. I'm not just talking about the people that we like. I'm not just talking about the people that we get along with and the people we agree with. I'm talking about all of us are connected. And what do I control? How am I going to react to these moments that happen? Am I going to react in a way that is going to add to my balance, to my connection, or am I going to react in a habitual, unconscious way? And I say that because if you are, I'm trying to think, how do I say this? I'm trying to use myself as an example. One of the things that I try to, just because I did something, just because I did it something the same way 10 years ago or 5 years ago or that's my preference just because it's happened the way it I guess I'm rambling here, but just because something has been doesn't mean that it has to be in other words, bringing your past moments into your future moments is the reason why suffering occurs. Remembering, I don't even know how many. I think I'm rambling now. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me just take a break. Just gather my thoughts. What I really want to say is each moment is unique and special, and each moment there is a chance and opportunity for a perspective, and each perspective is your. In other words, you are in charge. It's your choice. Each perspective will define how you are going to feel in your moments. Your perspective will define how you are going to feel in each of your moments. And the only way that your perspective is going to add to or assist you in finding more balance is when you practice in every moment. Sitting with a perspective or finding a perspective that is going to allow you to have the energy that is universal. There's a difference between this man-made energy and this heaviness and this universal energy. You know the difference, you felt the difference, and there is a big difference. The cycle of life has a lot of different colors, a lot of different experiences, a lot of different stimulus, if you will. But when I stop taking myself so seriously, and when I look at and allow the universe just to direct and guide and to inspire me, when I allow the universe to say, you know what, universe, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how I'm feeling, just show me, just guide me, just point me in the right direction or the direction of inspiration, keeping your palms open, keeping your eyes, keeping your mind open to all possibilities, to all of it. One of the reasons why I think that happiness and finding peace is so important is because what else is there? What else is there? Reacting to external events, but how are you reacting to external events? I was reading something, the world is a mirror. The world, I think Deepak said it. This world is a mirror. So if the world is a mirror, then what do you see? What do you see? And let's go back to the deception. The eyes being a deception. It's not about what the eyes see. I mean, I've given up because my eyes will trick me. My eyes will tell me, you don't have enough, you need more. Please, my eyes will tell me a lot of things. Something's missing, more. There is a discipline to just being consciousness. Just be consciousness. that means that you're aware in every moment what you say, and it's not just reaction. I don't know if you've heard this story. I was looking at a special yesterday, and this world-class surfer, I didn't remember his name, but you could probably go on YouTube. I'm going to have to go on YouTube too, because world-class surfer, I think it happened in 2015, and it was in the middle of a championship. He was competing, and he was in the water. I think it was after a wave. He was in the water, and all the cameras were on him, and a shark. Audience, I can't believe it. A shark was around. He was in the water, and it was around him and around his surfboard, and you can see this man in the water with the shark fin right next to him. I mean, and it was minutes. The shark was. What happened was the shark bit through the rope. There's a rope that ties onto a surfer's ankle and then the board, so they don't lose their board. And so the shark bit through that rope. And now the shark is circling this guy. He's in the ocean, and the guy is he's not really fighting, but he said that he was thinking about punching because he knew it was a I don't know if he knew it was a shark, but he knew it was some kind of big animal, shark or a whale, punching him. But he was going to fight. And finally, there were some jet skis and some other boats that came to save him. And this guy who was in the water with this shark circling him, you could see the fin in the water coming out of the water, this huge shark, and this guy got out of the water with not one speck, not one bite, not one little injury. And when he brought him back to the shore, he was, wow, that was something. And then finally, after an hour, I don't know how long it was, maybe it was a half hour, but the guy just went into shock and broke down. Can you imagine being that close in the water and you're fighting for minutes with a shark and trying to stay alive? And he did, and he just broke down. A year later, was this 2016, and he this is what happens when people, if something happens in the ocean or you fall off a motorcycle, get back on. So he had been surfing, but he had never been surfing in that same area. I think it's in Hawaii, where there's a lot of sharks around. So one time in 2016, he went back to that same spot to compete again. This is the point of the story. Life is the same. There's always going to be a wave. Now, you could look at the wave as something, good, bad, whatever label, but it's just a wave. And life is about waves of moments. And quite frankly, I was taught that if this happens, I'm going to feel bad. And if that happens, I'm going to feel good. If this happens, I won't feel good. If that happens, I will. So all of this unlearning is feeling good through all of it, feeling balanced through all of it. Is that even possible? Feel balanced through all of it, through all of life's challenges? That's my new resolution. That's what I'm going to be practicing. Because just because I'm a happiness specialist doesn't mean that shit doesn't happen to me. And the last thing I want to say, the same thing with this eyes deceive you. This numbers game. It's a man-made world when I am concerned with numbers. How many people are listening? How many people read my book? How many people do I have following me? How many people How much money is in my bank account? It's a numbers game. And I'm telling you right now, audience, I am not concerned with any numbers ever again. Well, actually, I haven't been concerned with numbers in a long time, but especially now. No numbers. Looking at numbers and feeling a certain way, oh, I feel good because this number is large. Or I feel bad because this number is small. Or I feel bad because this number is small. Or I feel bad because this number is large. See, if you throw out the word divorce, connotations of, oh, is that good or is that bad? It's nothing. In other words, and when I say it's nothing, I mean we all put good, bad on it. This shifting your energy based on what we were taught, it's time to shift our energy away from what I was taught, especially if what I was taught is going to subtract from my being balanced or subtract from my happiness or subtract from my peace. I don't know about you, but I was taught that that if I have 10 million people listening to the radio show, that's good. And if I have 3 people listening to the radio show, that's not good. 2017, not about numbers anymore. Whatever the reality is, whatever it is, whatever you see, whatever you're experiencing, that's it. Wanting something different than what you're experiencing, I'm just shaking my head from right to left. Wanting anything different than what you are experiencing. I don't know about you, but I spent most of my life wanting something different other than what I'm experiencing. I mean, come on, you get the guy, now you're with the guy, now I want something else. Now I want to travel. Listen. It's about accepting the experience, all of the experiences, because whether you believe it, whether you want to believe it or not, you and me, we are living out our destiny. We're living it out. I don't know what my destiny, but I definitely know what I've been practicing. I definitely know that if I don't trust, then I am not accepting my reality. Simple. I'm trying to look for my quote that I wrote out. What is it? Oh, no, that's about being embarrassed. Okay, this quote. Now I'm just switching reels really quick. This is about being embarrassed, and the only thing, this, I don't even know why I'm jumping from that to that, but being embarrassed, there's no such thing. The only reason why you're embarrassed is because you care about what people think. Because that 1-year-old, that 2-year-old, that 3-year-old is not going to care. So caring about what people think, can you be yourself then? Are you able to be yourself? For me, I'm not able to be myself if I care what other people think, because that means I have to act a certain way because they're probably going to think this or that. I know a lot of people that, they're going to think this way, so I can't act that way. No. But that's a choice. Reality Spirituality is heard every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Sunday Pacific Standard Time. My website is Rebecca Norrington. That's RebeccANorrington.com. Email me at info@RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. Reality Spirituality Facebook. Please go to Reality Spirituality's Facebook page and like that Facebook page. Thank you in advance. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be found on Amazon. And my second book is going to be out this year, Program for Unhappiness. I haven't gotten the subtitle yet. Program for Unhappiness. You are a physical extension of the universe. You're always changing. You're always growing. Be patient and be kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. And if you'd like to speak with me live, you can just press the number 1. People that are in the queue, press number 1. But if not, I will chat with you again next week. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's the new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for our